A lengthy start then to our very first game and map of the day. We go double OT, and it does mean that this is going to have to be short and sweet, kind of like Jason Moses O'Toole. We do have Yanko and we do have Sponge, and we're going to have to do this one quickly. Myself, Machine, is probably just going to sit here nice and quiet as these guys attempt to do a speedy analysis. What have you got for me, Chan?
I had 1 point, and the point was going to be that if NiP were able to win concisely and quickly in the overtime, then it would have been like, this is the reason we need 16k OT, because, you know, they lost both pistols, and then in the best of one, if they were able to show class in the gun rounds, would have backed up my point a little bit. Got there in the end. When they finally made it to that third overtime, they were able to be very concise in that victory, take it away with ease at the end there. But obviously it was a grind. I think props to Draken and Rez, that A defense, especially when they flipped over to the second half, they were very formidable. Yeah, great job from NiP, despite losing pistols, to still be in the game. Speaks volumes of their gun rounds, and also great game from Rez, having 100 ADR in a triple overtime game, just consistent throughout. Yeah, we 1v1s to close it out as well, so really nice stuff from the newcomer to the NiP roster. It feels weird to say, given how long they've been hanging out now. Let's move then into the next map, because I want to do this quickly. Sorry, Chad, I know you were working on something quite awesome. I just like looking at stuff on HTV.org. It is fun, isn't it? Yeah. But the next map, Nuke.
What an interesting person you are.
That raises some questions for me. First of all, wasn't Heroic's only real kind of staple map when they were first kind of coming together was Nuke, and NiP not known for being prolific on the map?
This will be another good map in theory, you know, seeing everybody on form. Snappy was playing well, Yugi as well, you know, and then everyone else kind of stepped up as the game went on. Modi had some moments early. I think, you know, if these teams can come in, you know, just refresh for the best of one again, everyone seems like they're fighting for something right now, and more Nuke specific. I think if you look towards the way that Heroic, once they get under through secret control, the way that they very concisely use their smokes and molotovs to pigeon up, to cotton off areas of the map and then take that lower site, it's very effective. No pigeons.
Yeah.
No pigeons.
I think Heroic is very confident on this map. They even picked it into Virtus Pro in their best of 3 in China. Not the best of decisions, considering how that game went, but it just tells you how comfortable they feel on Nuke. And it's going to be interesting to see how NiP looks on the map after a while. You mentioned it, that they're one of the more prolific teams on it, so it should be a good game.
Yeah, are they still in that kind of... I mean, I guess we haven't got enough evidence yet. They used to be is going to be our best answer in this.
The problem we have, especially when these teams fall out of graces with the top 10 and the invites to tournaments, like we said, we don't see much of them. Same with Fnatic, and then on LAN, that's where we really can grade them. So in this environment right here, I can expect them to be effective on it. They have good strategies. We see that throughout. It's just how their players want to be implemented.
Also, the other teams, you know, we haven't seen like Astralis for a while on Nuke or FaZe. Those are some of the teams that you would maybe also put in top 5. So until then, it's like the usual suspects: VP, NiP, North maybe a little bit, even if they have fallen out of favor.
Well, it's a battle of some Nuke specialists. There's no coincidence that this did actually appear in their veto process, given the way it works here at ESL Pro League. Everyone's just vying for their most comfortable maps, and both of them feel comfortable on Nuke. Should be another good game. Let's see if the casters can handle another quadruple overtime. And speak of the devil, let's head over to Lucifer and his partner in crime.
First off, I'm clearly Lucifer. Second off, you said double overtime, and then you said quadruple. Neither of those were correct. It was triple. And this is Nuke.
This is Nuke. What a game it was to kick things off. Wow. There we have it. It will be NiP to get the 2 points, and I think I saw them sneak into 5th place there. So the points, every point does count. 2 is better than 1. They would have liked the 3, but not meant to be. They'll try and convert that here on Nuke. A map that NiP were heralded to be one of the world's best once upon a time. They're still pretty decent on it, but Heroic, I certainly agree with the analysts, they can be quite tricky on this one as well. And we'll see who comes out on top. It's going to be another close game, probably could go to overtime. I think it will be NiP starting on the CT side. Yes, indeed it will be. And we'll be underway momentarily. Heroic from Denmark, with a Swede in there as well, in the form of Modi. NiP, obviously, I'm sure you're all aware, a full Swedish lineup. They're currently 6th. I think it said 5th on the updated rankings with our added 2 points. Heroic pretty much not going to be qualifying about those 3 points in the bag in that previous map. But they're trying to avoid regulation. I can't stress that enough. It's very, very important for them. T-side is start. We've got no smokes. We have got a Molotov, though. That could be used for a post-spawn situation towards Heaven. Well, look where they're heading. Towards ramp, it seems. With the bomb. With 2 players outside as well, but no smoke. Oh, get right, the timing's there. And the shot's not really working out for him. Finally, it comes in.
It'll work. Rez will fall back as well after getting one toward the ramp, so they split toward lower. Has been slowed, but not completely diminished, because they've already got one player down below control room, and they followed up by finding a kill onto Rez eventually. That allows the bomb plant, those 2 kills alone. A Stag sitting in the open, somehow saved by Snappy. I don't think Get Right realized he was down below. It's going to create the rotate to have to come in from the ramp, and just one kit. It's in the hands of Exist. Drake and Forest, therefore, should be the ones to do battle, and they'll be the ones with armor. Nika will cover from the vents. He also has the option to go back toward the decontamination stairwell. With one smoke to isolate that's gone deeper than the bomb itself, they need to get on the defuse immediately, and they're going to leave Exist on it. He's defusing, no one peeking. He is inside of the smoke. Oh, has he lost the bomb? I think he's lost track of it himself.
Try again.
Goes back in this time, but unfortunately, Estag found his two teammates and spotted him going in at the same time. He lost track of himself in the smoke.
First 2 frags for NiP. A 5-on-3 situation seemed it was all done. But Heroic fight back. It came out that key frag from Snappy at the top of the ramp. Managed to protect Estag after planting the bomb. And a bit of confusion there from NiP, dropping the smoke on top of the bomb site itself. Couldn't find the bomb inside it, and it all went very sour very quickly there. I think they would have struggled to get that ball defuse in, but it was certainly an option for it. Force buy from NiP across the board. Even Draken joins in with the Deagle and armor. We'll go towards outside with only one rifle here for Heroic. That's why they go towards lower. Get these smokes down. Close range combat available, but it might not matter. What is that shot through the smoke? Forest delivers a pile driver. 5-on-4 now. That's all the way from heaven. Still give the advantage to Heroic here, considering they've got lower sight now. We'll see if they can get the plan down. The old NiP trick, open the window side doors, right-click a smoke out, and plant inside that. We'll see if they go for it.
See if they go for it.
2 kills for Reds coming in, both headshots.
Just wrapping around, gets found. Estag again has been sharp. Wins the pistol round himself with 3 kills late. Finds 2 in this one that dictate the pace of things, considering it's falling apart. It's not done yet either. With 2 Deagles, Estag 7 HP. Imagine that. 7 HP. Forest will watch off toward control room. Draken still waits with an angle. Forest has Estag down. It's just Maudie to work with the AK. Lots of utility. And the bomb about to be recovered, but he jumps back through the window immediately. Does not want to walk into the depths of the lower site, knowing that they're relatively occupied. Smokes to fake the plant, or fake that he's faked the plant, or fake that he's even gone for the real one, perhaps. But neither of them will bite. No one's hearing the bomb being tapped as he tries to bait out Forest as a result. He'll go in and naturally, I think, look to his right. Oh, he almost got it right. Bullet too soon. Forest has to go back up the ladder. That isolates the second player in the site, but Draken takes the fight, and NiP win it.
Good lord. It seemed like it was a nice idea there from Heroic, going towards outside, but Forest delivers a deadly headshot from the heaven area. Makes things uncomfortable, gives him the lead, and Rez with that CZ. He was phenomenal on overpass, continues to form here on Nuke and steals the round away. The force buy successful for the CTs. A little bit of luck at the very start. And a force buy in response from Heroic. They didn't get the bomb down. We'll have the Eagles and CZs here. Or one CZ, I should say. A couple of smokes. Be back in the driving seat now as we go towards outside once again. The Deagles trying to open things up. That's something that's very scary about the Heroic side. Everyone seems to be good with the Deagle.
Yeah, Deagles are pretty... I guess they're not what they used to be, but they're getting there. They're getting back to, I think, a relevant state. Not quite where they were in 2013, or 2014, 15 even, when they were essentially useless. Get right finds one. That's going to slow us down to just Maudie. Found 4 overall, I should be. Found but 1 late, though, and it's just Maudie to find for the ace, but Rez is going to beat him to it, and it's 2-1 for NiP.
2-1 coming in. 2K, full EK for Heroic. A chance for NiP to swallow the bank account at this point. Here's the easy frags ready for Get Right. Second one was a little bit more precise with the spray, but they just walked into him, presented their backs, and he gets 3 kills in total. Yogi missing out on the shots there completely. Let's Get Right to mow them all down. We said full eco, 4 Glocks, 1 PD-50, no armor, no nades. Should just be an upper rush here potentially. You can see players going towards Squeaky Door, trying to get down lower with the bomb potentially, but that bomb will go down. And they're dreaming of this round. They'll go towards ramp, they know it's over. Get it over with. There's the final kill. Rez will pick it up. 3-1. 3 kills for Rez in total. Hold the ramp very nicely.
Whatever works. So 3-1, but guns up. No AWPs either side, worthy of noting. Did you catch that Molotov shocks through yesterday? ECS?
Yes, I did. So you stopped the smoke bouncing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That was cool.
And I think, as I say it, Get Right obviously saw it. Master of watching CS. I think he's done it too late, though, and the smoke does make it by.
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
I get right, you know, would be the first to see that and be like, I'm going to do that, yeah.
Bit of a game changer, isn't it? If you can stop the outside smokes coming in.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Not bad from Shocks. Shots all around. Nico starts off well in the AK. Can't find the lineup toward Get Right. Swings back out, but he walks back into it. Snappy gets the shot. Out of nowhere, Forrest jumps off the hut and gets the kill immediately in return, but there's still a man down. Make it double as Madi hits a nice shot to Rez, and Yugi still waiting inside a lobby. Will catch Forrest, desperately trying to wrap around behind them. Matter of time before that round went against them, but still guns available to NiP. See if Get Right can throw it again. I think there's got to be an alternate way to throw it, a different route. Maybe it bounces off red, but you got to be further out. There's got to be a counter to it.
Heroic picking up a round up, and it will be 3-2. We still have plenty of money for NiP. It's the outside play once again. Gerard did a bit of damage there, tried to deny the smoke, got a dink off, but straight towards lower, finding the frags. Money to finish things off. Tracking with the AWP now, though, as we start to get deep into the first half. Nico heads towards outside with the bomb, and that's a bomb down. He jumps past the first red box, completely punished for it. That should force some sort of rotation. A lot of intel gathered at the very start there. Rez doing another great job towards the ramp room. He seems to be playing very, very well today. One of the young Swedes that are certainly a rising talent. 5-3. Looks like NiP got this one completely tied up. We'll see if there's any sort of comeback here. Estag with one. That's not a bad shot at all. Finds Rez towards that ramp room. Estag gives the window opportunity on another part of the map. But Forrest says no. Takes on Snappy towards the squeaky door.
Shot to get through the window for Estag. As he and Yugi want to establish a way of planting the bomb. Seemingly easier said than done. Yugi just getting down the ramp, relying on the information of Estag and clearing the site. He's cleared out the vents. He's wrapped around from control. Only place he has not checked is decontamination, so I wonder if Yugi looks that way when he drops down, but he'll have faith. Just going to hold the plant. So a retake with one op. 3 M4s, make it one less, but good trade from Get Right. And 2 kits still in play. He on the back stairs, flash in his face. Bomb still planted inside toward him. But I imagine, although the door I think was closed, that they'll swing around behind him. It is closed, so we would have heard that. Got a smoke on it. Exist already holding. Yugi opens early. Oh, it doesn't even check it. That's done.
Just hoping it wouldn't be the full defuse at that point. It's a horrible angle. Waiting for a mistake to be made. Maybe find the opening of a CT covering that position. But the full defuse comes in. This time Exist can find the bomb. And we'll get 4-2. Another buy available, but a weak one for Heroic. They could get a AWP out. It's not as weak as maybe I made it out to be. They still get the nades. There's always one compromise in the form of Snappy. He gets the UMP instead. They still have all the utility and Molotovs there, so absolutely fine. Papa Draken got a nice opening shot before. Maybe the standard smokes from Heroic being used here as we get into round number 7 to try and get out towards outside. They will be deployed successfully as well. There is a bit of a gap there, though. I think there was a Molotov deployed to make things a little bit more interesting.
Draken. Angle that's tight, but well found, well struck.
Well
More importantly, Forrest has the lineup as well.
Yeah, this is a great round for NiP. Not dropping a single player. Rez is just a monster in the ramp. Every angle, every shot seems calculated, and he's making sure he's got an escape route there as well to get down towards lower, but hits the first shot. Knows he can take a risk to get that second kill as well, knowing they've got that huge lead. Nails both of them. Draken, nice discipline play, holds the corner. Deep defensive line after the first kill. Back up from a teammate towards his back steps. That should be eco now. Nothing really invested at all by Heroic after a great start with the pistol. It's been very difficult since then. 5-2 the overall scoreline. PD50's Glocks and 1 Deagle, and an opening kill once again from Draken, looking for 2. I think he spotted the player at red. In Will, trying to bet out the shot as Estag. And that's wonderful from Yugi, good lord. Takes him down from Silo. It's going to be Get Right of the AWP, a rare appearance.
Rare appearance, but Get Right. Can't hit the shot. Seemingly wants to play outside. Yeah, goes back over to the M4. Probably for the best. Nearly takes out his teammate. He's panicked. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to hold big things. As the M4, he's more deadly with anyway. Takes out a stag, but traded back by Yugi at distance. Brings our nice army green P250 into a death position as Snappy gets found apparently by Rez. Low HP. He'll follow that up and find Muddy. And it's just Yugi. 6-2. I'm going to call it stoppage to this one, Hank. They're no longer defending themselves.
You'd probably be correct there. No shots going back in return. It was a nice shot from the silo. But that's pretty much all that happened. 2 kills on and pretty much fully good. That's not too bad. Here's the replay of that devastating shot. There it is. Draken goes down. That's the Yorba. Round number 9. 6-2 in favour of the Ninjas now. Another buy, but you can see the running on its strongest position for Heroic. No orbs coming out. Not necessarily a big deal. A lot of AWPers don't feel comfortable on the T side of Nuke. Draken changing his position up. Been going to the garage pretty much every round. This time goes on the catwalk. You can see above the smoke. In this particular position like that. Nails the shot. That's Yugi going down. He can fall back to another defensive line. As long as his teammates stay alive, that's not going to happen though. Get right drops. Forest to recover. And it's going to be Draken having another spectacular round here. 2-on-1. Molly's still with a chance to win this one, but maybe not for long as Rez. This tag team duo and Draken and Rez, that's been formidable tonight.
It has, absolutely. I mean, those two guys played together on Epsilon. Originally called the Cringe Gods.
Do you remember that interview when they first said they wanted to play in a game that was commentated by us? That was their dream.
That's right, at the minor. Yeah. Oh, that's
in an HOT interview, they said, "Oh, I just want to get a game commentated by Henry G and Sedegist."
That's admirable. Thanks, boys. We appreciate it.
Yeah. How sweet. How times have changed.
I mean, that would be my goal,
who the hell
too.
are those guys now?
Yeah, forget winning majors or playing professionally. I just want to be casted by me one day, too.
That would be a weird one. Commentating your own game.
I've done that. It's not usually for the best.
Another partial buy for Heroic. CZ's 4 of those. 1 Tech 9. Yugi uses the Tech 9. There's another pro. He's believing still. That's 2. Sticko and Yugi. Tweet me if you can think of any other pros that are still using it. I'd be interested to know the grand total.
Tech 9. And no, you yourself, viewer, are not a pro, so don't tweet saying, I use it, because no one cares. Let's get right. Forest exists and exists again. We'll find kills on the floor. Complete cleanup. And now 8-2 for NiP. I hate to be that guy, but...
Harsh but fair.
Can't win them all.
Certainly cannot. 8-2. NiP looking very good here, especially Rez towards the ramp. So we haven't seen a real variation of Heroic smokes outside. They keep sending 3 players down there instead of what teams like North do. They'll send like MSL down, but it's by himself. Okay, so maybe I spoke too soon. They're doing it this round. So Nico this time goes alone. This is what... Oh, the smoke. Is that the Molotov working out there? I'm not sure. I didn't see, if we can we work out if Get Right denied that with a Molotov, please? We'll find out. 5-on-4. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened, Matt. You saw him trying to do it before, so that's probably exactly what happened. There's a massive gap in the smoke. Nico by himself. As I said, they haven't tried any variations outside smokes. Try this round, there's 1 player there, suggesting that 4 players are there again. We'll have an upper execution, but not a very good one so far. They do get a frag back, but it's going to be Rez coming in once again. We know how well he's playing. His teammate Draken and Forest to clean things up. It's a really, I think that's the way the game's going to go. That outside Molotov, no one's really thought about it before.
That was brilliant when I saw that last night. In fact, I watched it twice because I was like, really? But yeah, it's such a predictable bounce, right? And it's easy to throw. It's not like the one on Inferno or previous version of Inferno where you just toss it, hope that you got the angle right from T-spawn, and then deny the deep smoke. Right. This one's easy to throw. I could throw that.
Oh, you mean chucking on the roof of Inferno?
Look, here it is again. Right. Get Right's going to throw it again. Oh, I take it back. He hasn't thrown it yet.
Well, he has to spot the smokes coming in, presumably.
Well, yeah, presumably, but I think that's easy to miss that way. Like when Shocks did it, he just threw it pretty much right away. But it's still going to go NiP's way. It doesn't matter. All 5 staying alive. They've got money for days.
They have. Heroic seem to have run out of ideas. Maximum loss bonus, of course, but no bomb going down in a while. $3,400 per player. Have a partial buy required. They need at least 4 rounds here. Pretty much 16k across the board. Look at the money coming in. So NiP won't need Nico. Only 3 rounds to go. Even if they lose the next 2, they'll still have cash available. So yeah, Get Right's watching it. So he's ready for it. Doesn't chuck it to that position this time, but does manage to deny a player crossing over to the T-Red. Before just like that. We do get 1 frag in return. Make it 2. Nico takes down Reds finally in the round. He has been an absolute nuisance in that position. And now just poor old Yugi outside, bomb down. He has got armor. They partially bought into it with the Eagles. I mean, they can get a full buy next round. But it will be 11-2. Maybe quadruple overtime.
Yeah, well, I think it will, actually. Draken takes down Yugi. And we find ourselves 11-2, and NiP convincing on Nuke as always. They'll keep the guns naturally, and therefore they'll be buying on the other side with the bonus as it is. Did you also see on Reddit the person who used Nuke as an example of breach of contract or breach of security?
How?
They said that they were submitting it as an example of.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it was like front page overall. Go. Blowing out all them skylights. The broken glass would fall and do damage to Forrest, but we don't care about that in Counter-Strike.
He'd be wearing body armor and a helmet.
Maybe he's got no shirt on because he's Rambo.
Well, he does. So it is realistic.
Fine. Fine. You win this time, Hank.
I look forward to battling against him.
Do you?
Yeah.
We'll have a sword fight later. Forrest will watch one side of the hut. He's got a teammate behind him watching the other. There it is, exist. And Maudie's still inside of the door. Desperate to get rounds. I'm sure they're desperate at this point. I would be.
Yeah, a lot of pressure here to at least get 3, I think, at this point they'd be happy with. Forrest to drop down, find them with their nades in their hands. Closes the door, doesn't want to be rude. And he'll take 2 down with him. It's going to be Rez and Exist to help them out. Still got the advantage. Snappy left with just like 1 HP in the hut. Time ticking away. Has not got the bomb either. 25 seconds remaining now, and he'll be lucky to even get 1 more kill out of this. He'll take a nice pre-fire, gets a chance, but Draken finds him with the final bullet there. After PG-50, 12-2. No bomb again means not much money enough to buy with the loss bonus. And a couple of kills coming in. But overall, NiP showing why they were considered to be the Nuke Masters.
Certainly are. This is dominant from them so far. 12-2. Round 15, guns aplenty for NiP. Yeah, AKs for everyone on T side at least.
Winning the pistol and potentially losing 13-2. That's not a great sign.
I wonder if we start to see a dictation in terms of rounds swayed by back toward the CT side more convincingly. If that Molotov is that powerful, how many teams rely on those smokes? That is such a reliant strategy.
Every team does it.
Yeah. And it's usually the one strategy they have. Because as I mentioned, I think ramp is still way too tight to exploit. You've also got the boost, which is in effect quite commonly at ramp. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Exist is in that position now.
Quite possibly. Let's have a look. No, he's not.
He's not, okay, so I'm thrown off by minimap. It's fine. He was in the corner. Either way, he's watching the upper site.
We've got down towards lower, though, with no casualties. But a fly in the ointment, perhaps, because Rez is all the way down lower, but can't get anything done. They check it. They've got the lead. 12-3 looking very likely at this point. It's up to Exist to deny it. Can't get that shot off. That could have been the difference maker. The bomb's not down just yet, but it might not matter. 3 versus 1 now. Dragon knows where 1 is, but he can't get down towards lower. They'll be able to do a nice open plan here, knowing he's preoccupied. Behind the side, eh? How does he get into this one? It would take an absolute blunder for him to even get close to the bomb here.
Dragon trying to hold it off. Trying to hold off the first peak, but a stag still inside of the site behind the silo. Immediately re-peaks. We find ourselves at 12-3, a third round. Maybe enough in it. I'm not sure. It's not exactly the old version of Nuke, is it?
It's not. Great performances there from NiP after losing the pistol to get 12-3. That's great. Heroic do still want away at the end, and maybe that's enough to keep their heads above water here on D-Nuke. We will find out if they can get any further after the break.
Well, here we go. We'll see if there's a response. I'm not convinced that there will be. From Heroic, it's 12-3 for NiP as they swap over to the T side. If they win the pistol, especially diminishing and unconvincing, I'm sure.
12-3. Rez, 17 kills, 7 deaths. Forrest with more kills with a little less ADR there. He had another blinder. And we'll see whether Nico and Yugi can recover their performances. 4 kills for both players there. The match is live, as you can see in your pretty green text there on the screen. We're going to have 1 smoke, a couple of flashbangs for Exist, and 5 sets of bomber for Heroic.
Speaking of text, you know, are you a fan of the Oxford comma?
I don't know how to use it properly, but I do try and use as many commas as I can. You have proper English.
What about semicolons?
Semicolons I do use.
Yeah,
I do
like
understand
semicolons.
those, and I like those.
Yeah, conjoining sort of 2 thoughts. If one, oh, nice shot, a stag. Down 7. I'll finish my point in a second, because I came up with something brilliant that's missing in the English language. Snappy. Good hold. Takes down Forrest. That's 2 to the good. For Heroic, that's pulled back immediately, however, as Rez and Exist walk into the upper site. It leaves Yugi in position from having to try and spot above Exist. Can't quite line it up as Monty gets back around, but I think it has, although it looked like a decent recovery from NiP, gone away from them. In fact, it was close. Get Right finds 2, but can't find the 3rd. It goes 12 rounds to 4 for Heroic. My point is, what about rhetorical questions, right?
Okay.
So why would you just put a question mark if you already know the answer? Why not put a question mark with a comma at the bottom so it acts as a semicolon with a question mark to state that it's rhetorical?
Why just put a full stop and then it's a question about one that needs an
Because
answer?
technically a question has to have a mark, right? It's kind of like an in-between. There's a gray area there. I think you need a question, a semi-question mark.
Okay. Well, we'll speak to the boys of the English Dictionary and see what they can do. As we get into the next round, a force buy here from NiP. It was a straight-up upper rush here. Didn't really work out for them. It's going to be Modi to take the bomb down and presumably the round with it. Unless this kill comes in favour of Forrest, which it won't. That's going to be it. Bracken might get 1 consolation fragment, not meant to be. So, Heroic's campaign on Nuke starts right here, right now. They get the pistol and presumably the 3-0 of Polika coming in. Negate the force buy. And no bomb going down for an AP. Did I see some jewelies there? Yeah, I did. Yugi's got some jewelies.
Nice. Everyone loves some dualies, in my opinion. Well, a smoke. Is that 2? Oh no, it was a flash. Okay, I thought they messed up.
No, it'll be pretty defined every round he throws that initial smoke.
A stag. Oh, it looks for the headshot. Can't quite get it. Goes for a second effort. Still can't find it. So they'll pursue the outside position on the NiP side. Still down a man, but inching closer, shall we say. Nice nade. That was about as good as it gets to players with no armor. Outside, up above. And as a result, we now find ourselves with just 2 left after all of the exchanges, and I imagine we're about to end this round in particular. Heroic comeback. I think this, you know, I didn't think it was going to be on, but it's something convincing about it. Something that's won me over in my mind.
For Eco. 1 kill for an IP. Now the half really begins. AKs will be coming out. Yeah, right, with a little bit less money there, opting for more utility. That's fine as they go towards outside and those lower steps, like we see pretty much every round on Nuke. That's why it's a map that's a little bit stale, in my opinion. The only real viable strategy is the outside smokes and variations of that.
Yeah, we're going to have to get some more creativity. We're going to have to go look at Anders' theory crafting and put up the wall of smokes down catwalk to walk through. Totally sprayable, but a stag. Speaking of smoke, is going to play forward of them. Second one lands behind him. Didn't quite body block it enough. They do not go into a situation where in which they Molotov the smoke, but they do have Monty up close. He sprays down 2. Yugi gets Draken. That's back outward. But it's Get Right, the only kill. Or rather, excuse me, Force the only kill. Get Right, who has position, but it's in a 2 versus 4. And Yugi down below is inside of the control room to watch off the ramp side entrance. Get Right's already shown his gun barrel, but not enough to get a shot off entirely. Therefore, there is one inside of control, but he's still waiting to see if Vents will have anyone inside of them. As a result, Force has to watch the flank. And he does so. He spots 2. He's hoping desperately to get one through the smoke. More so because Get Right's found a kill. They know there's got to be one downstairs. Let's isolate him. Let's go for the plant. Get Right's very low after his exchange, however, but Forrest will commit to putting the bomb down. Get Right cannot see toward decontamination room, which left Forest wide open. Unfortunate, because now he's low HP, and Snappy wins the exchange 12-7.
Heroic doing it. Well played, especially from Modi. He did a couple of fantastic rounds here at that ramp room. Seemed to be replicating the form we saw from Rez in the first half. It's now going to be 4-0 in their favour. They're getting closer and closer to tying things up. Here's the replay. Holds tight on the wall. There's so many angles to check in the ramp room. As you mentioned before, it's a really difficult choke point for the T's to get out of. You've got to look at the CT entrance, the close right, the boost, back boxes. That's why a lot of teams will try and focus on outside first to pull a rotation away. So there's only one player there. They tried that. Draken went outside, but Yugi found him. Modi didn't want to fall back. He wanted to actually challenge the ramp. He got 2 for 1. That's definitely worth it. And a force buy now from NiP. I think they're all in. They are indeed. A couple of AKs, a couple of Glils, 1 Deagle. They've got a better rounds to work with, so that's fine. Towards Alted himself. This time with a little bit more firepower than just one. This will be an upper split map. This is a variation of the outside smoke. Like I said, all the tactics on this map are based around those smokes, and this will be a main split. Take the attention away from main with the smokes outside, and Eagle have no idea they're coming towards main. The timing's just eluding him there. A little bit frustrating. This force buy could actually work out very nicely. We have got Snappy lying in wait towards the vent. Now spotted. That's pretty much his round over. They've got a smoker. They wanted to chuck it in there. And it's up to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Orb as well to retake upper. That's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. NiP looking like they might get their first T-sided round to make it 13-7. I would say it's very likely indeed.
Oh, yes.
In fact, it looks as though it's going to be a save. It is going to be a save. They're already gone. What am I saying? I'm not going to make this dramatic. It's already concluded for you if you look at the radar. You don't even need me here.
Not at this point.
All right, well, then I'll leave. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure.
Has it, though?
It's been okay.
Yeah, don't lie.
4 players survive for NiP. Like I said, variations outside smokes. That's why a lot of people have fallen out of love with the map. It used to be really interesting. Like in Source, right? It's pretty much what this map is based on, the Source version. There was a lot more options. You didn't even have Molotovs in Source, but because the flashbangs are so powerful, in Source you could do the skylights, you could bounce 4 flashes in there, and it's caused an absolute ruckus in the upper bomb site. Because the flashes are so powerful, you had smokes down a main entrance, and it made upper executions really viable. They don't really seem prevalent anymore in this version of Nuke. Like, everyone's just saying, right, just keep doing outside smokes, and we'll see if we can trick them by forcing rotations. That's pretty much the only strat.
Yep, but now you've got this thing called a Molotov that gets thrown down, although not by Heroic. Perhaps they didn't see that. Perhaps they need to look at Reddit more frequently. Stag and Nico still find kills, though. It's working out because Yugi gets above on top of the catwalk. Reasonable. As Yugi, nearly lines up another. He's desperate. He's dancing. Are you a dancer, Hank?
I've been known to be.
Well, I would happily have a dance with you. Smoke in the corner. I think they've read it. Force certainly has. And as a result of it, we find ourselves with Forrest taking out Madi as well. That's going to make it now 2 versus 2. Rotation read well by Rez.
Threw caution to the wind there, Snappy. I'm not sure why he assumed everything was so clear to run out pretty much with knife out towards top of steps. Bomb hadn't been spotted. He had no idea where the T's were. A little bit of assumption going on there. Now it's up to Nico. Still definitely possibly wins this, and I'd be waiting to see if he makes a mistake and explores towards outside. But of course he holds upper. Watching Heaven for now. He stands in the position there. Might look like he's in the open, but he is covered to some extent by the yellow bar crossing the middle of the site, as demonstrated right now. They can't really see him if they're walking through main entrance. Or the hut for that matter. So it's a semi-safe position. It's not completely covered, but it's okay. They'll go towards lower. The Molotov the vent. Like they will. That's pretty much round, because they can easily plant now. Nothing he can do about that. He can go out the back of the vents. Makes a little sound cue there. Oh, what's Forrest up to? Why did he... Okay, well, the bomb was towards upper, so it's fine. But I thought with upper, I guess he was just showing presence there, trying to find out where he is, force a rotation. It's got him out of upper. Left Rez in a really winnable situation. Now he can only really come vents. Nico's just not going up yet, because he wants to suggest he's gone secret, right? He's waited so much time to try and bait out the fact he might have gone secret. Spots Rez. He has the advantage now. He goes towards the lobby. This apparently is readable by Rez. I have no idea how he's aware of that. He must have spotted him as well, crossing over.
That's pretty good. It's the only way that's necessary, because when the stroller showed, absolutely, you'd expect Rez to just walk into the site and be flanked out, but it's now around for NiP. That puts them 2 away.
He must have spotted him. There's no way he'd have that called a pre-aim as he walked back. I'm not sure we can have a look at that from Rez's POV, but there's another clutch on the board for him. A situation where Heroic had a huge lead there. They got the first 2 picks, I think it was first 3 kills. And it all comes crumbling down around them. Could be one of the final rounds here. They've got only pistols to work with. A big nade at the very start. Damages the entirety of NiP. And Estag desperately trying to avoid bullets here. Gets tagged up tremendously there. Kraken finds him. 5 on 4. But that looks like a Deagle headshot. Yugi lines it up. Finally comes in. Not the headshot, but still counts. 4 on 4. It's given away. They're in a desperate force buy here. What's the play by NiP? Getting tagged up. Needs to be very careful. Forrest gets one back. Now they've got time to work with it. They have outside covered. It's very rare to find more than 2 CT players towards that position. They can fall back and wait for CTs to rotate towards lower, perhaps. I think Modi's already gone down. He might have a teammate with him. Probably Snappy. Indeed, they're focusing on Secret. And now that leaves poor old Nico in a high-pressure situation. If he goes down to nothing here, that's round over. If he gets 1, leads it to a 2-on-2, it buys his teammates enough time to come towards upper if required. Looks like NiP might actually go towards the ramp here. So Get Right will just be watching their backs, making sure no one comes in behind them. And the mind games begin.
Mind games certainly have begun. But it's NiP that's got the control of the game and the round by having a 1-man advantage. Matter of rotation at this point in time for Modi, who's inside of the vents below, but just the pistol to work with. Snappy, who's rotating around from Secret away from the lower site to the outside position with the M4. Unfortunately, wrong angle therefore. And Nico, who has hut covered off. NiP, lower, already blowing out the vents with Modi inside of it to do damage. Will plant the bomb. Snappy's the main man in the equation with the M4, and he'll try and work his way toward control room. Exist opening. Decontam, or excuse me, and behind Snappy gets 1 kill. It's now immediate that Snappy's got to find shots in return. Get right. Swings out. Nico's got a kill as well. Somehow they're making it work. It's Forrest left in a 1 versus 2. He knows the situation. As he flashes back in, he wants to get toward the bomb. There's a smoke on top of it as well. High HP for Snappy. He's the one with the gun, and they make it work.
It's kind of shocking from NiP. They weren't even near the bomb, and they're all showing 1 by 1. They had completely locked down. That was a 4-on-2 situation, and they give it up because they saw the prize. They thought this is a lock-in. No way we can lose this one. And Heroic are nowhere near the bomb. Just hold the crossfires. Make them touch it. Give them nothing. Make them commit to the corners and the angles before you do anything. That's really disappointing. A round where they had 1 rifle and 4 pistols, and you had a 4-on-2 advantage. That's just not good enough. Well, they still have a huge bet of rounds here. Probably not going to affect the overall outcome, but you never know. It was triple overtime before, remember. However, they definitely are capable of these sort of comebacks. Should be the first kill coming in for the CTs. It's going to be Yugi, knowing he can get wallbanged there, taking damage, goes down to a 4-on-4. Vestag opening things up.
Forrest jumps up and, intentional or not, spots 1 player down toward control room. 2 players to around the corner. Modi's there with Snappy. Snappy gets the kills. Modi gets 1 on a nade. Now puts us in a situation where Get Right has to find a reverse entry from ramp. He's done so.
Hello.
Benedict to Estag. Was that team damage? Yep. That was not needed at all. Not required. Nico gets it back to a 1 versus 1. Rez going down. It leaves Get Right alive. Get Right with a flash toward decontamination. Trying to bait out where the sound is coming from. But Nico sees his feet before he could see him, and therefore the shot goes to Heroic. They find 2 rounds in a row. 1 which they should not have, arguably, and this one which was debatably down to the 1-on-1 and well earned.
Wow, wow, wow. Pause will come in. 14-9. It seemed like NiP had done enough. It was all over. Up against the pistols. And all of a sudden, Nico finds him another 1v1 situation coming in their favor. They haven't given up match point yet. Money broken for the Ninjas. Timeout for Heroic. Just to calm down. A lot of high-pressure situations there. Along the line here, sure, Heroic can't qualify for the playoffs, pretty much. But they're trying to avoid regulation. So any points they can get, brilliant. They got 1 point from the previous map of an overtime defeat. They could actually come back and win this still. So take it round by round. Get double digits first. It's the first milestone. Felico here. Not sure if they're going to purchase anything. A Deagle comes out for Draken. Sorry on the floor.
Sorry. They're a Canadian. With a British accent, apparently. I'm not very good at Canadian accents.
No?
No, they're not my specialty, really. However, it's NiP struggling to close out the game. Just 2 rounds achieved this half. 2 rounds T-side, not bad, but could have had more. I think they arguably should have had more. We get underway, Draken. Downs Snappy with a deagle. Snappy's one of my favorite names.
It's been around a while.
So much you can do with it. Nico takes down Draken. That responds to make it 4-4. But, oh, Exist, I thought I was going to say, has good map control if he can get around, but spotted immediately. Bit optimistic to walk around or catwalk, hoping for the best.
Oh!
Rez.
What was that?
Just obliterates his stag. That's pretty good. Now he's got a chance
While
to open up
jumping.
because he's also got an M4.
Rez can't miss tonight.
Well, he needs to pull this around. If he can get map control, if he can hold off. They do have the bomb in the hands of Forest. Going upper is going to be tough, but Get Right's already in hut, so they're hoping to combine for the trade, especially if they can get the M4 toward Heaven now that they've opened up the position. Good find, Get Right. Don't even need to go toward Heaven. If he does a shot like that, immediately walks out, and Yugi's expecting the M4 to arrive. It's Nico next in line from the hut. Get Right again. Good wrap around to find him, and he certainly does.
Well, a round where they came in with just a couple of Deagles, PD-50s, and Glocks. Looking likely to be the one that finds a map point. Indeed it is. Get Right to find the final kill there, and that's a disaster. Rez, it all comes down to that shot outside. The P250 flick, I hope we get to see that again in slow motion. It was similar to what we saw from Golden yesterday on Cash. Here it comes. Watch this, slow motion, we've got it. Oh, God. Shot of the week.
Yeah,
it was
that might
Golden
be.
on Cash.
That's pretty sick.
But that might even be better. Considering the context, full eco. Struggling in the half, and that's the opening.
Golden is the MVP this year. Did you know that?
From what I've heard, yeah.
A Stag looking for the shot, can't do it. Exist, able to crouch underneath. Finds the shot. Map point for NiP. Chance to get a full, I shouldn't say full, excuse me. They went to overtime, so 5 points on the night, not 6. As Yugi looks for the angle, but can't line it up. He's trying to play the backside of the stairs. Looks again and still can't get it to work in his favor. Exist takes Snappy down. Exist burns Yugi alive. Modi and Nico last to get in the way of NiP in victory.
That should be it. Let's Get Right to find the penultimate kill. And Modi, there's nothing he can do here. NiP have done it. They've got the 2-0. They get 5 points over the course of 2 maps. That's going to help them out dramatically. They were 5th place before these 3 points, so they should be looking quite comfortable now. 2 victories there, one of which was triple overtime, but they managed to do it. And they might have just, not guaranteed, but maybe got a little bit closer to getting to the playoffs there. Well done. Well brought back.
Well brought back indeed, and as a result, like you said, getting much closer to the playoffs. NiP, who, if I can bring up my standings once more, give me a second, are sitting 7th with 35 points, having played 22 games. That'll be updated, and I imagine they'll leapfrog their way into the top 6 by passing Hellraisers and G2 at this point in time. So there's a battle on, absolutely, for the position, the last position inside of it. In fact, Na'Vi, even with 22 points, still have a chance, a very slim one, I will say.
Let's throw it over to the boys on the desk.
All right, then, another quick one from us. Henry G and Sadakis guiding you through Nuke. Now, this has been quite a turbulent time, then, for a Heroic. Not only do you win T-side pistol on Nuke,
Yeah.
analysts around the world celebrating, you know, checklist complete, your map, you're strong on it, you win T-side pistol. And then ecos seem to be the bane of their life.
The one key that
Force
I had
buys.
for Heroic on that T side, right, was getting control of Secret and then, you know, using their utility well to disperse of the CTs coming in from the different choke points. They weren't even able to get down Secret a lot of the time because of that Molotov usage that we saw come out from Shox last night. That looks like it was instantly implemented by NiP. For as all we know, you know, this could have been going around in practice for a while. So the fact that this has just been used that quickly and able to disrupt such a tool like that, the yard smokes, which every team needs, there's going to need to be a quick adjustment in the meta, I think.
Yeah, it might be just teams, you know, waiting a little bit longer for the incendiary to disperse before they throw their own smokes. But, you know, that allows the CT to make that extra rotation set up properly and maybe bait you out a little bit. And, you know, losing that second round, but they win the gun round after that. So, like, okay, maybe now they're going to string a couple of rounds together, but they get reset again. And that's where things really go downhill for Heroic. They are struggling. They don't even plant the bomb. After that, for like a number of rounds, NiP is just winning by elimination. So a very dominant, obviously, first half from NiP.
Yeah, and then just trying to claw it back. It looked like NiP may have made it just a little easy for them after that round loss. I think the words out your mouth were, how did they lose that? You looked away for a second.
Yeah, we had to, because we have a delay, so we have to walk down. It was like 14 for NiP. They're 4v2 after plan situation. Heroic doesn't even have good utility, and I just come here and I see, it's actually 14-9 instead of it being like 15-7.
They got their own back with the full eco in there. You give and take, But I think basically NiP have just condemned Heroic now to not being able to make the playoffs, right? With that loss right there, the 6 points going in the way
Made a
of
great
NiP.
case for themselves.
Don't forget about overtime rules.
Yes, you're right.
Made a
so
great
easy to
case for
forget.
themselves to make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's basically as close to the dream they could have got after that overpass performance. So fantastic for NiP. Their run to UNSA is getting a little closer, a little more dicey. It does mean that we still don't know that top 6 and NiP are still in the running. That's something to be excited about. But what we learned from Nuke is simple. Chad is saying that the meta on Nuke is going to shift courtesy of one single Molotov. I kind of love that about Counter-Strike is now things are going to start shifting, and we've got a whole lot of offline events, including those Pro League finals, where we get to see how that does evolve. And we're going to go ahead and evolve the broadcast now, because we're going to be moving into another one. Evolve and Revolve. We continue to move on. It'll be Astralis and Envy that'll be battling it out after our break. So do stay tuned, and then we'll be shedding you, hopefully, some light on how Astralis Envy will play out.